Hey guys, man, I realize it's been probably 3 weeks since I've made a video. I've just been really busy lately, didn't really have too much time. There's plenty to report on, believe me, as you probably all know. The main purpose of this video is about silver, and not to be alarmed if you see the stock market completely crash and silver and gold go down with it, which could be very typical for that kind of thing to happen. Don't get all nervous, say, oh my God, I knew I shouldn't have bought that silver. My friends told me I was crazy. I wanted to prove them wrong. Oh my God, it crashed. Holy cow. It's just that don't even sweat it. That is probably exactly what would happen if the stock market crashed. It would bring it down with it. Doesn't mean that gold and silver are going to absolutely crash. But I mean, if gold went back down to $800-900 an ounce, that was world record breaking numbers when it first happened, a couple years ago or whatever. So, it's almost half of the price now, but that would be when I make another video urgently telling people, get it ASAP, get some silver right now. When the prices collapse, get it now. It'll be the last time you ever can get it that cheap. The problem is, I can't say for 100% certainty that silver and gold, or in our case specifically silver, because that's what I concentrate on, is actually going to collapse. I can't say that for sure. I just know that there's so many paper contracts out there compared to the real physical silver that because there's so many paper contracts, if the stock market crashed and other people who had silver contracts, some other contracts, the Dow, something else, whatever, futures, and multiple things, and those things all crash with the stock market, they're going to get margin calls from their broker saying, hey, it went way down the threshold of what your account balance was even capable of withstanding. You owe us, 10 grand right now to clear out this account. You better come up with the cash or we're going to sue you. Okay, well, my gold and silver is doing good. Let me sell those accounts, those futures contracts, and I'll take the money out of there to pay for this $10,000 to my broker. That's what would be the reason that would bring gold and silver down. And from what I understand, there's approximately $200 billion worth of silver paper contracts with only approximately $10 billion in real physical silver that's supposed to back it. So what do you think would happen to all those people who got their butts handed to them if the stock market crashed, and silver got pulled down on them too, so they had to liquidate all the silver contracts? It would clean out all of the paper contracts for one. Maybe that's part of the elite's plan to allow it to collapse so that all the people who hold those paper contracts, are forced to liquidate them basically. The problem's going to be when that happens and people start buying up all the real physical silver, even though the paper price says it's, way down or whatever. How are they going to handle all those other contracts? Because remember, even if the price collapses and people are holding the paper silver contracts, they get liquidated, their accounts. If their account got liquidated, somebody bought that silver, that contract, the paper contract. So it's still out there. If there's $200 billion worth of silver contracts, one thing you could say is, well, let's say it drops to 50% of the price, which is $15 an ounce right now, if it was half. That would mean instead of $200 billion worth of real silver or paper silver, they would actually only have 100 billion ounces or paper contracts worth of paper. $100 billion worth of paper contracts if the price went down half. That's a little easier to manage, I guess, for the elite or whatever, than 200 billion in paper contracts. Either way, they're going to be the ones buying the paper. The problem is going to be physical silver demand skyrocketing, and you're going to see shortages. I guarantee you, soon probably, you're going to hear about the U.S. Mint not being able to produce silver eagles. And wouldn't it be funny if they didn't say, well, we're short on silver. Instead, they said, oh, we're closing down minting of the silver eagles. It lasted, 25 years, whatever. It was good, but we're not going to do it anymore. When reality shows that it's because, silver is empty. The vaults are empty everywhere. They can't get their hands on any silver, so they can't create any. Maybe. The other thing is maybe they will actually just say, well, sorry, put out a notice. We're not creating any, we're back, 3 months for silver eagles. Who knows? Because it is a money-making opportunity for the government if they can get the silver. So who knows? That's really all I want to tell you. Don't get scared if the market crashes and your silver dives down to $15 or something and you had it at 30 and you're sick to your stomach. When it's $15, do everything you can to buy more. And then watch what happens, how it absolutely blows past $30 an ounce and skyrockets out of control at that point. You'll be very happy. Even if the people you told said, hey, see, it's a good thing I didn't buy silver like you told me to at $30 when you bought it. It's $15 now. I'm not touching that stuff. And then say, okay, well, that's fine. Just wait a little while and watch how it blows past $30. And then when it does, you can laugh in their face. That's one probable thing that could happen here. The other thing is that you may find that silver and gold don't actually go down and they just kind of stay flat maybe while the markets crash, because everyone's diving into the paper contracts of gold and silver because they can't possibly get the real thing, or they don't want the real thing. They just know gold and silver has withstood all this, economic pressure. We want all in on gold and silver. Therefore, all those people who will liquidate their accounts, the paper contracts in silver, when their stock market crashes and they have to make those margin calls and pay them, there's going to be plenty of people in line to buy those contracts right where they are, which means the price may not even go anywhere except up or stay flat for a short time before skyrocketing. I don't know. Those are two possible outcomes that I think are very liable to happen. I'm just letting you know, don't worry if the price goes down. Don't get all sick to your stomach and sell. My dad got upset a couple times, like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. He was in at $14, $15 in, or maybe 16. It went down to 14. Oh, I'm just going to sell it right now. Of course, now where is it at? $30. He already learned his lesson, by the way. So he's not going to be doing that again. He's got, plenty of silver. He's been stocking up on it, and he's quite happy. So that's all I got for you. One last thing is I read a bill the other day, like 3 days ago or so, about Dennis Kucinich, congressman who I actually used to like and then hated because he joined on Obamacare and basically bought himself a position for his vote to Obamacare. So I pretty much wrote him off at that point as a little scumbag. But then I read this bill he created the other day that he's trying to get passed that completely removes the Federal Reserve private banking system out of our lives forever, gives a money printing or coin printing back to Congress, which the Constitution said originally, and he writes this in there, what I'm telling you. He goes on to quote what it says, how it creates these fake boom and bust cycles. It's a privately owned organization. It didn't work. They're printing money out of control. They're devaluing our dollar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The job losses, all this stuff. It's fantastic. I couldn't believe Kucinich created that. I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away by that. And it was really, really good. I haven't heard much else about it since then, but that's actually a very good thing if that could come to pass. And of course, the webbot did mention the crumbling of the fractional reserve and Federal Reserve system, mainly, not necessarily fractional reserve, Federal Reserve System, which is fractional reserve banking anyways. In a year plus ago reports, and even some of the more recent ones, it said the Federal Reserve System, people are going to lose faith in it, it's going to start to crumble, and they're going to be looking elsewhere. That's why you want gold and silver. Now we got this bill being pushed out there. You also have Ron Paul heading the banking committee. Oh my God, that's fantastic. This is good. This is good news within the doom that we still have to withstand. That just proves some of what the webbot says also is true, in that the powers that be are becoming the powers that were. Of course, they're going to have to start a war very quickly to focus on other things and not dismantling the Federal Reserve. And as Lindsey Williams also said recently, the war with Iran is still on, so you can expect the war with Iran to take place within the next few months probably. Doesn't matter. We still need to keep pushing to get these bills and all these things passed that are, for the people, like this one Kucinich did. So anyways, I'm here. I went to pick up some pizza. I'm here. Gotta run. Talk to y'all later.